White alpine mountains, billionaires, and the global elite. It can only be Davos, the tiny ski resort in Switzerland, home to the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum. Here are 3 key topics high on the agenda.
Number 1, a dovish pivot.
Despite all the talk of higher for longer, sticky inflation, and robust labor markets, investors are now pricing in aggressive rate cuts by key central banks this year. Following the cost of living crisis and the unprecedented cycle of global monetary tightening, reduced borrowing costs cannot come soon enough for debt-strapped companies and governments. And the next crucial question is whether policymakers can make the pivot to avoid a hard economic landing.
2, rising geopolitical pressure.
World leaders were already grappling with the Russian invasion of Ukraine, launched by Putin's forces nearly 2 years ago. The much-anticipated counteroffensive by Kyiv hasn't quite gone to plan, and foreign support and military aid is not flowing as freely. There's now also a second conflict on the global stage between Israel and Hamas. The humanitarian cost has been immense, and the war has the potential to spark wider tensions across the Middle East with ramifications for global trade.
And 3, just 2 letters, AI.
Investors are obsessed with its potential to disrupt chunks of the economy, and it drove some of the biggest stock market gains last year. Pressure is now mounting on tech companies to deliver on some of the earnings hope. And in the hallways of power, security, and ethical concerns remain. The EU struck a landmark agreement to regulate artificial intelligence, and it could set the tone for similar rules by governments across the globe.
Of course, Davos draws a lot of criticism as being exclusive and out of touch with reality. But key politicians and industry titans continue to go in droves. And as long as they do, the buzz will remain, along with the potential for meaningful change.